some power electronic devices. In this topic, we will study about some popular power electronics devices. Here we can see the construction and characteristics, symbol and different uses of the power electronics devices. First, silicon controlled rectifier, which is known as a SCR, and it is a most important power electronics devices. First, let me see the construction. As shown in this figure, the four semiconducting layer alternating of P-type layer and N-type layer are placed one over another. That means this P-type of material is placed on the N-type, first N-type layer or the material, and the another N-type layer is placed on the first P-type layer, and the second P-type layer is placed over the second N-type layer. So here, due to this four layer, three junctions are formed. The first junction occurs between first P layer and first N layer, and junction J2 occurs between first N and second P-type layer, and similarly junction J3 is formed between the second P-type layer and the last N-type layer. So now the anode terminal is taken out from the first P-type layer, and the cathode terminal is taken out from the last N-type layer, and the gate terminal is taken out from the second P-type layer. So that's why SCR is a 4-layer 3-junction device. SCR is a 4-layer 3-junction devices, and it has 3 terminals: anode, cathode and the gate. Now the anode is a positive charge electrode. So through this anode terminal, the conventional current enter into the SCR. Now similarly, cathode is a negative charge electrode. So the conventional current comes out from this terminal. So here we can say that current enter into this SCR through this anode terminal, and current leaves from SCR through this cathode terminals. Now the conventional current passing through this anode and cathode currents, the flow of conventional current flows from anode to cathode is controlled by this gate terminal. So this is the construction of this SCR. Now the arrangement of lead. So the arrangement of lead for higher capacity, that means higher capacity means this SCR is designed for higher power capacity, is shown in this figure. So as you can see, the one stud threads are provided on the outer periphery of this stud. Now this stud is connected to the P-type material, which is taken as an anode, and this anode is connected to the heatsink. Now the another terminal is taken out from the last end of N-type material or N-type layer, which is taken as a cathode, and gate terminal is taken out from the another P-type or the second P-type material. Now let me see the working principle of this SCR. So the working principle of the SCR can be explained in 2 ways. So now in first ways, let me see the working principle of SCR. So now the SCR, the operation of SCR according to biasing method of the SCR, it is divided into 3 parts or 3 modes. So due to the biasing methods of the SCR, the operation of SCR can be divided into three modes. First, called forward blocking mode or state, or you can say off state. Second, forward conduction stage, forward conduction mode or the stage, and third, reverse blocking stage. So do you understand? According to due to this biasing of SCR, the operation of SCR can be divided into three modes. First, forward blocking state. Second, forward conduction mode or state, and third, reverse blocking mode or the state. Now first, forward blocking mode. So now in this type of operation, the anode terminal of the silicon control rectifier is connected to the positive terminal with respect to cathode. That means your cathode terminal is connected to the negative supply, while your gate terminal is open. So now due to this, junction J1 and J3 are forward bias, and junction J2 becomes reverse bias. So now due to this, some leakage current is flowing through this SCR, but its value is very small. So do you understand? It is not turned on, but some leakage currents start to flow from this SCR, which is called leakage current. So now when the value of the applied voltage to the SCR between anode and cathode terminal of the SCR is less than the breakover voltage of this SCR, that time this SCR offers very high resistance to the flow of current. That means it opposes the flow of current, but still some leakage currents flow through this SCR. So now we can say that during this stage, very small amount of current passing through this SCR, which is called as a leakage current. So here we can say that this SCR in this region is act as a open switch. That means during this stage, SCR block the forward current passing through it. Next, forward conducting mode. So now in this type of mode, the SCR comes into the conducting mode from the blocking mode. So for that, the positive gate pulse is applied to this SCR, or another way, the sufficient voltage is applied to the anode and cathode terminal to turn on. That means you can apply positive voltage between anode and cathode, and its value is greater than its breakover voltage. So if the value of applied voltage is greater than SCR breakover voltage, it will turn on. So to turn on SCR, we have two options. Either we can apply the gate pulse between gate and cathode terminal, and in another method we are applying sufficient voltage which is greater than breakover voltage of SCR, then SCR will turn on. So by applying any one method, when any one method is used to turn on the SCR, the junction which is reverse bias in forward blocking stage, this junction J2, due to this forward voltage or gate pulse, avalanche breakdowns occurs across the junction J2. So due to this, SCR goes into conduction mode, and which act as a switch, and the current start to flow from the SCR, and its direction from anode terminal to cathode terminal of the SCR. So as shown in this figure, if we are increasing the value of gate currents, if we are increasing the value of gate current, so here you can say that IG1, IG0 is greater than is less than IG1, IG1 is less than IG2. That means if we are increasing the value of these gate currents, the SCR comes into conduction mode in very small time. That means if we are applying higher value of gate pulse in small time, gate SCR will turn on. That means IG4 is greater than IG3, IG3 is greater than IG2, and IGT is greater than IG1, and IG1 is greater than IG0. So now in this mode, the maximum current passing through this SCR and the value of current passing through this SCR depends on the load resistance or the load impedance. So if we are increasing the value of gate current, ultimately it reduces the required voltage for the SCR is decreased. Do you understand? If we are increasing the value of gate current, which reduce the voltage required to turn on the SCR. So now the minimum currents is required to SCR comes from blocking mode to conducting mode, or conduction mode is called latching current. So do you understand? It is the minimum value of current which is required to change the SCR from blocking mode to conduction mode is called latching currents. Now similarly, the holding current, the minimum value of currents which is required to change the SCR from conduction mode to blocking mode is called holding current. Now third, reverse blocking mode. So in this type of mode, the cathode is connected to the positive supply with respect to anode. So in what happened in forward mode, the anode is positive with respect to cathode, but in reverse blocking mode, the cathode is connected to the positive in compared to anode. So due to this, junction J1 and J2 becomes reverse bias, J1 and J3 become reverse bias, and junction J2 becomes forward bias. Now due to this reverse voltage, SCR goes into a blocking region. So there is some leakage current passing through this SCR. So here you can see this is the leakage current passing during the reverse blocking modes. Its value is very small. So the SCR act as a open circuit. Now if the value of reverse voltage, whatever the reverse voltage applied to the SCR is greater than the reverse breakdown voltage of SCR, that time the avalanche breakdown occurs between junction J1 and J3. That means J1 and J3 both are avalanche breakdown occurs at the junction J1 and J3. That means it acts as a conducting material, a conducting mode. So now due to this avalanche breakdown of junction J1 and J3, very high reverse current passing through this SCR. Now this high value of this reverse current which increase in loss. Now due to this loss, it produce more amount of heat. Now due to this heat, it may be permanent damage the SCR. So this is the first way to understand the working principle of the SCR. Now let me see another method to understand the working principle of SCR. So as shown in this figure, SCR is consist of a one PNP and another NPN transistor. Now the collector of each transistor is connected to the base of the another transistor. So here you can say that this is NP1, that is a transistor number 1. Here PNP, that is a transistor number 2. So the collector of transistor 1 is connected to the base of the transistor 2. And the collector of this another transistor, second transistor, is connected to the base of the transistor 1, that is a NPN transistor. So now suppose load resistance is connected between anode and cathode terminal. What happened? So now suppose we are connecting here one load resistance between anode and cathode terminal of this SCR, and a very less voltage is applied to the gate and cathode terminal of the transistor P1. So when the gate voltage is 0, that time the current passing through this gate of transistor 1 is also 0. So now due to this base current 0, this transistor P1, it is operated in cutoff region. That means there is no collector current. Collector current IC1 is passing through this transistor T1. And you can see the collector current IC1, it is nothing but it is a base current of transistor T2. So that means IC1 and IB2 both are 0. So here in this condition, the both transistors act as a open circuit. That means there is no current passing through this load. Now when the gate and cathode, the proper gate voltage is applied between gate and cathode terminals, that time the gate current IB1 is passing through this transistor T1. So now due to this gate current IB1, the IC1 current is flowing through this transistor T1. So do you understand? Due to this IB1, IC1 is flowing through this collector of this transistor Q1. And the collector current IC1, it is nothing but it is a base current of transistor IB2. So do you understand? The collector current IB2, the IC1 is the base current of this transistor IB2. So now due to this IB2, the collector current IC2 start to flow through this transistor P2. And this IC2, it is nothing but it is a base current of transistor P1. So here I can write IC2 is equal to IB21. So if increase in IB1, which increase into IB1 is increased due to the increase in IC2. So now due to this IB1, it will increase the IC1 current, and due to this IC1, IB2 also increase, which will increase the IC2 currents, collector current of this transistor Q2. So now this is a cumulative process, and this process is very fast. Now due to this process, SCR will turn on, and it offers very low resistance and and the current passing through this load, whatever load here connected, the value of this current is limiting by this load resistance. So if SCR, once it is turned on, the current is remains passing through this anode to cathode terminal, even gate terminal is removed. So if once your SCR is turned on and we are remove the gate pulse applied to this SCR, still this SCR remains in on condition. That means the current still remains flow from anode to cathode terminal of the SCR.